So let me tell you a story. You like stories? I like stories. So I don't think so that I'm giving you any option, but you know, it feels nice to let people know that they have an option. Today's topic is about life, something to do with life. And that is my cue. That is where I become very excited. Because for the next hour, I can speak whatever I feel I want to. And at the end of it, even I wouldn't know what I've spoken about. Because that is how life is. Life is very exciting, very interesting. At the same time, it's very mystical. True? So how was your life in 2022? Typical answer is, it was good. Few things were all right, others may not be. I learned a few things. I managed this way and that way.
Oops, very good.
Oh, all right.
That's part of the life, I think. I'm sorry.
You are the light. Okay. So once upon a time, in a very wonderful land, lived a king. The king's name is Padma. So where I come from, a king is always also addressed as Raj or Raja, right? So King Padma would also be known in my part of the world as Padma Raj. All right. And sometimes we say King Padma Raj, and that it's like saying King Padma King. Padma Raj. He had a beautiful wife, a good administrator in managing the affairs of the kingdom. Very, very beautiful, cultured, astute lady of the name. So Padma and Leela. You know that song? Padma kahe Leela or Leela kahe Padma. No, I just made it up. Okay. So Leela and Padma were happy as a couple. And they're okay with just the two of them being together. So they did not have any children. That was all right. They had the whole kingdom to look after. They were very much attached to each other, as is good for any couple to be. They should have very strong affection and respect for each other. So that was how these two were. Few years after the marriage, Leela, being a very thoughtful lady, she became concerned. So she called for the well-read and educated people, the scholars of a kingdom, and she asked them, how is it, what could I do to guarantee eternal life for me and my husband being together. It's very common for humans to feel like that. We may try to be philosophical, but inertly, or not inertly, sorry, but internally, somewhere there's a deep desire and hope to exist eternally, and preferably have a happy existence. Happy as we define happiness as. Now, each one has their own definition of happiness. So there is this desire. So it is acceptable that Leela also has this desire, and she wants to have a life wherein she lives with her husband eternally. So Leela and Padma. The scholars know that the queen is well read. This is not coming just from a figment of her childish imagination. They know that she's actually wanting to see if there is some feasibility to this proposal. So they went through their books, they went through all their learning, like they tried to remember. And they said that presently we do not know of any process which can guarantee you eternal life in this form along with your husband. However, we have heard, and based on our teachings, based on our readings, we have learned to explore a process wherein you worship you worship an entity that is divine and of the name Saraswati. So now we have three names, right? Leela, Padma, and Saraswati. Yeah. So she is very sharp. Leela is very sharp. So she asks them that, what is the process by which I can have access to Saraswati? So they explain to her the process. And they also tell her that the entire process, if done diligently, would take a minimum of 6 months. Being of strong determination, she did that. Now, this is a story, all right? So in our stories, we can have people do that. So she did her due diligence. She followed all that was required by the process. And after 6